how now do we control or how do we manage our e-reputation?
Headphones on.
Headphones on.
Microphone in position.
Microphone in position. Oh!
Decks on.
What you doing with that thing? Decks on.
Tapes on.
Tapes on.
Volume on.
Volume on.
The best music. The best music. The best music.
Keep it locked, cause you will be shocked.
You can take the boy out of radio, but you can't take the radio out of the boy, can you?
Broadcasting in high definition.
Voice of the People, 96.1 FM.
Around town on VOP 96.1 FM Abuja. That was Roland Kwame, the CEO of Go Ahead Africa, talking about e-reputation, and that is what will form the base of our conversation this morning on VOP. My name is Aliu Doma.
And of course, I'm Chiwa Blessing. Good morning one more time. Okay, so today we have, just before, we went on to play you that piece of audio, we spoke to you about I mentioned that we're going to be talking about e-reputation, and the way that you can improve your company's online reputation. It's not news that the world has gone digital. The entire globe is, I was going to say the world has gone global. I know. The world has gone digital. Businesses are being run both online and offline, but more online. Virtually every business has an online presence today, and you tend to reach a wider range of people with online presence.
Yeah.
Recently, there's a lot of back and forth that's been going on Instagram and Facebook between two Nigerian brands, two very strong Nigerian brands. If you follow, Nigerian businesses online, there are those influencer pages that you just have to know. The influencer pages like Nigeria Brand Chick that everybody knows. She's one of the most influential business persons on the social media space, especially on Instagram. Now, this particular person ordered hair from this very big hair brand. I'm not going to call the names of either one of them. If you're familiar, you are. If you what's that they say? If you know, you know. If you don't know,
forget about it.
So she purchased hair. She ordered. It was supposed to be a Dono hair. It took 2 shades. Women know these things. Very expensive, about 500,000 naira, including delivery. And what came to her was not Dono hair.
So it was like a case of
what I ordered versus what I got. And even the color was not, because there were 2 different. It was supposed to be 2 different shades of brown, but very subtle. And that's like hair that is luxury hair. Like when you see it on the lady, you're like, oh my God. But what was delivered was nothing
close to that.
Yes. And this lady reached out to the brand and she's like, okay, there has to be a mix up in my order somewhere, because this isn't what I ordered. I mean, in this economy, for someone to remove $500,000 to purchase hair, the person will not take anything less.
But really, I have reservation over the cost that women do pay to get hairs, but I would just leave that within myself. I don't want to talk about it now. But maybe off air, I will ask you some questions about that.
No, don't.
Because
leave us to spend whatever we want to spend on our hairs.
Okay,
I have concerns too, let me be honest. But then back to the story. So the hair vendor didn't handle the situation well.
Okay.
And it spiraled out of control. So the other person, who has a very large following also of business people, and it's a network, right? She made a post about it. And the other lady, I think she made a post about it after the hair vendor had blocked her. And the hair vendor said, look, if you want a refund or you want me to change the hair, you have to wait till October. Because right now, it's not going to work for me, according to what I'm saying. And then the other person is saying, October? I paid for my hair in June. Why do I have to
wait.
wait till October for you to figure out what went wrong with my order? And now it's going to bring us to the entire case of e-reputation, because now several other vendors are going to, of several other people, customers, consumers are going to the comments of that post and saying, oh, it's not only this one, oh, that is the problem, oh. A lot of people don't like, I've also ordered, I've attended this person's, programs that the person has done, and, I didn't see good value.
Some of those things are just like just feel waiting for a spark.
Exactly. Now, the reputation of that hair vendor, who is very popular, by the way. I was kind of a fan of her because I was like, oh, she's doing very well with her business. She's taking her, she's doing the branding properly. She has very large visibility. Like, she's very visible. She's always posting. She's consistent. She's doing the work. So I'm like, oh, I'm a big fan. I love what you're doing.
Could it be one of those bad days at work for her?
I wouldn't say it was a bad, considering there were so many people. There were so many bad testimonies about. So now you would see that where did she get it wrong? Possibly customer service. Maybe you had good products. You just didn't know how to cajole people out of it, and that is one thing a lot of businesses lack. Today, let's now look, deeply into this this thing called your company's online reputation. Now, this thing happened, this particular hair vendor isn't in Abuja. This person that bought from the hair vendor isn't in Abuja. We are discussing it in Abuja.
Yeah.
Because the business had gone that far. You see people exporting. I have my best friend exports. She exports different things. She makes dresses and exports them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she has fan base, I think in Australia or somewhere.
That's quite good.
Know. Exactly. And it wouldn't have happened if
without
businesses...
the media space.
Thank you. Without the social media space to begin with. So now let's talk about smart ways that you can improve your company's online reputation in a modern world where businesses' online reputation is everything. While it takes consistent effort to build up a good online presence, it also takes a couple of negative reviews or an unfavorable press mention to tear it down. I know it's always easier to pull down than to build.
Of course.
Look at that vendor now. That I said I was impressed with how much work she had put into, building her brand, growing the business and all of that. And look at how it just, in a couple of days, because of bad customer service or not knowing how to mediate simple issues, it has torn down, it has come and pulled down what she has worked hard.
It's more or less like it's even better for you to manage. It's easier rather to manage your one-on-one business interaction than your online presence. Because one-on-one is just between you and that person. You'll be able to manage the situation there and then it dies out. But if it is online, you're in for a long drag.
Now, that was just one example. How many times have you tried to download maybe an app or something and then you go to the comments to check what people are saying about it? Personally, I use online shopping a lot. Almost that woman that doesn't want to get into the market except if it is absolutely
necessary.
It has to be very necessary. It has to be something down to vegetables and peppers. Okay, yes, let's go to the market. But any other thing I can order online, I'd rather do that and wait for it to get to my doorstep. And I'd always go there. There are reviews. I always go to check the reviews of other customers. That is one easy way to be able, and there are some online shopping platforms that even have room for people to drop, customers to drop pictures.
Yeah.
So that you now go there, you see somebody who say, no, very terrible products, the quality is, but I won't buy anything from that entire store again. I'm looking for another one. So you see how important.
That's very common, especially when I used to buy things on AliExpress.
Absolutely.
There are different shops there, vendors who sell their or display their goods on AliExpress. So if I go there, and I even check deep down to see a review from a Nigerian. Because that's the market where you get people buying things all over the world, so you could see review from people from different parts of the world. I would want to be sure that yes, this is what I get, and the review should be, I should see that green and white flag. Then I would be quite interested in reading that particular review,
Exactly.
so that I feel like, okay, somebody from Nigeria has bought it, and this is what he or she said. Then I'll have that confidence to go ahead and place my order, make my payments.
Absolutely. I don't think I thought I was the only person that did that. I'm looking at the flag. I want to know, what is it, a Nigerian that bought this thing? There's a particular platform. I'm not going to mention the name. It's a Nigerian-based one. We have a number, so yeah, thank God. I know someone that just said they got scammed off it once. And I've never patronized them again. Recently, I noticed they've been trying to do a lot of work. You open Twitter, you see a lot of people talking about, I bought this from that. I bought a car here. I bought this. I bought that.
Damage control.
Yeah, but I just can't trust them. Recently, I was trying to buy a desk for my studio, and I didn't want to, as usual, go to the market. So I was checking, and of course, you can use online to window shop, but I don't want to get into that right now. So I was checking online, others, and a colleague of mine here, Trish said, check, and she called the name of that. I was like, nah. She was like, no, really, you can buy things there. I'm like, have you bought anything then? And she's like, no, several times she has. I'm like, in recent times?
So you had to be sure.
I don't know if you understand, and I still didn't end up buying. I downloaded their app, I looked through it, but there was still that doubt. I'm like, my money fee just disappear for this place now, like this. Like, it can be very frustrating. Now, before you even get to a place where people are flooding your business online, let's talk about how you can get them to notice your brand in an e-world that is overly saturated with businesses, and I am almost certain businesses that are doing the same thing as you. Okay, the first thing is share your voice on organic outlets. Now more than ever, it is critical to share your voice for others to get to know who you are and what you stand for. Customers can tell the difference between when you're trying to sell something to them versus when you are just trying to help. Find organic outlets to share what makes you special. Help them with the subject matter you are an expert on, and be authentic. Your reputation and reviews will follow. Let me talk about authenticity.
Yeah.
Who else is tired of logging on Instagram and seeing women shouting and dancing with shoes or bags? Come and buy what I'm selling, oh. Look at these bags. Look at the fine bags I'm giving you for 8,000 naira. Look at the fine shoes. Do something else. Because trust me, as I leave that post, when I scroll,
You don't want to go back there.
no, when I scroll 3 other normal posts, I'm going to see another sponsored ad that somebody is shouting that I should come and buy the same thing for the same price. Look, stop trying to sell something to people and start trying to meet a need. There's a difference. And in both, you're still going to make money. That's it. The end is something is leaving you. You are selling something in the end. But it's going to be more effective when you're meeting a need. When you seem to care about my problems and you're offering me a solution to a problem, I will be more inclined. People will be more inclined towards paying attention to you and then doing it. As opposed to when you're coming to them and it's clear. It is obvious. You are just trying to sell something. That's all you're trying to do. It's not a good experience. It's like, you just want to sell it. So I won't even trust you.
Yeah, of course.
I won't believe what you're saying. It's like when if I'm going to shop and I walk into a store and I'm like, I want to buy these shoes. I just don't know if they fit. And I put them on my legs. And the person in the store, like the salesperson, is telling me, oh my God, they look so good on you. I'm not going to believe you. You're just trying to sell the shoes.
Of course. That is it.
But think about it this way. If I put it on and I say, I don't know. And you're like, I think they look good on you. I think they look pretty good. But try the other one.
I think that one will be better.
But
that one will fit
with
you
your
more.
skin tone like this, I think brown shoes will really make your legs pop. Sorry, can you stand here a little bit? Let me see. Oh yeah, try this one. and then I see you struggle with me in making the decision. You are now very interested in how I look. Walk a little bit in these heels. Let me see. Oh, mama, it's as if you are more comfortable in shoes that are higher than this. Let's try a 6-inch. Guess what? I will leave your store with more than one shoe. That, as opposed to anyone I pick, you are a yes man. You are just trying to sell it. People can tell when you don't care. I've said this on the show before. People can how is that thing that they say? People can tell the difference between God, I can't remember how I used to say it, but I've said it on the show before. People would not remember what you said to them as much as they'll remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
If I always feel like your business is looking out for me, I'm going to show up every single time. So I've been talking about fashion and shoes, and maybe let's talk about clothes. Or let's talk about, yes, you own a laundry. Let me not talk about buying clothes now. Yeah. You own a laundry store. That's what you do. And one day I come to your shop and you're like, Mama, I noticed this. You like this type of Ankara. It's really good, oh. But I think the fabric, if you tried cotton more, it will last longer for you, as opposed to this one that you're always buying. Or, Mama, can you tell your tailor to stop using this amount of heat whenever they are putting the blinks? I don't know, what do they call those things? The stones, thank you. The stones on your dress, because it used to weaken the fabric. I now realize that you care about me. You care about what I'm doing. I would always go back to you. I would.
Of course.
I would. So pay attention to your customers. Let it be passionate. That's why when we were talking about choosing something that you want to do, we told you it's better for you to pick something that you have a natural inclination towards, something you have a level of passion on, so that you can imagine my hair, the lady that does my hair now.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for me to go anywhere else, because I'll go, when I come back to her, I'll tell her to wash my hair or loosen it or something. She's like, Mama, they tensioned your roots. I can see the tension. Sorry, did it hurt? And you can see how caring she is. She's like, just allow me help you grow this hair. Look at your fine lush. And every time I want to go somewhere, I'm like, they might not know how to treat my hair. Look, even if she's not treating me well, I mean, she is, but I'm saying even if she's not treating, I feel care.
Naturally, human beings are they love to be pampered. They love to be appreciated. They love to be cared for. Automatically, if you are doing that in part of your business, it's going to be a plus to your business.
Absolutely.
That is very key. And another thing that you should also know, just like we have been saying, that in a very increasingly virtual world, customers are seeking ways to feel connected to the brands they support. We're talking about you displaying the values of your brand. During these uncertain times, especially now, leaders can share heartfelt values, forward content that speaks to people's need. You might be, for instance, selling something, a luxurious good for an example. Then a situation comes that economic downturn happens and you feel like, okay, you already have customers, a very huge customer base. You cannot continue to sell those luxurious goods simply because there might not be enough purchasing power for the people to come get your goods, to patronize you. So you have to look at something that has value, that can fit in that particular time, so that your customers will be able to afford. People that will feel the value, that okay, this person really feel the situation on ground, that he or she knows what we're passing through. For instance, this fuel subsidy now, you have a customer, you are into a business, and you have to factor into account the weakness or the reduction in the purchasing power of your customers. So you have to be able to align with some of their values. They should feel that, okay, this person has us in his or her mind in terms of growing the business, or in terms of us coming to patronize. It's not about the person wanting to collect money from us.
Absolutely. I felt this with there's this lady I always buy my food things from, vegetables, peppers, and all of there's like 3 of them in 3 different markets. So this particular one, I buy the bulk when I want to cook in bulk, and so I would call her, I'll send her a list, she'll put everything together. And so I went there yesterday to buy a few things, and she looked at me and she said, my pikin, you know well. And it just felt so good. And she started to say, oh, no. Is that why you want to make this soup? Okay, no. Add this one inside. It takes care of fever. Add the other one. That year for house before. And she's actually from where I'm from, so I could relate to what she was saying. Say no, hey, before we will feed or pluck this thing for backyard. Just now, this does not just. What I'm giving this example now so that you know that it's not just when your business is gang and you're online. Even if you're not and you're listening to us now, you can pick out of it. It's not so that you'd say, oh, no, this one is for only businesses that are online. Plus, who told you that you cannot put your markets online? Did I just tell you? I just told you I would text her the list and she would prepare it and keep, and then I go and pick it up. You get it now. And that is a market woman. It's time for you to digitalize your business. And guess what? She had portrayed that value of I'm looking out for my customers' interests. I don't know if you get, and she gave me something for free because it was not in my budget. When I went, I was like, no, I'll buy this and another. She said, no, this one too is very important. Oh yeah, put it. No worry, you come here every time. Guess what? There's no way I will go back to that market and pass that woman's stall.
You have to go there.
I would go because there is now a
very cordial understanding.
Exactly.
Customer, relation.
Do you understand it now? I'm sure you do. Now, it's also very imperative for you to develop and maintain your brand identity. We are going to eventually do an entire episode where we look at branding, your brand identity. We'll probably get a guest. I know a couple of experts in branding and brand identity so that we have an understanding of what it is. But just make sure that you're being systematic in developing and maintaining a brand identity. Make sure that everyone on your team that is involved with the online business, including your social media, understands the core values of your brand identity. Integrate that understanding in the customer experience as well as in all social media. I do hope that makes a lot of sense to you. You have to know what is my brand about? What is the identity of my brand? And this also goes to speaking into the colors you use, the font sizes you use, the way that you arrange your carousels, every single thing, so that when somebody sees it, they know that this is the brand. There's this lady that makes bags here in Abuja. I can't call her name right now because but anywhere I see her bag, I know it's her bag. She has very different styles and different collections.
But it's unique.
But you can tell. You can just tell that. It's the same thing with all of those brands, even the big brands. If you see glasses that are a particular, you would know. It's easy to just, that's a.
Yeah.
Make sure you develop it and maintain it. Keep going that way. Yes, you can always rebrand, you can always improve on, but don't lose the core of what your brand identity is. It's very, very
And another thing that's very important is that you can seek the help from branding experts. Just like you said, we probably any day that we set aside to look at branding and everything that attached to it, we will be bringing in an expert to come shed more light on that. But you should understand that hiring an effective brand image consultant or brand reputation manager, a company may improve its online reputation. Effective search engine optimization is key in assisting website optimization and brand recognition. You can also look into diversification of the company's online presence, which is also an important aspect of it because it aligns with leading social media networks, social media marketing, and proven media listening trends. That is one thing that is very important. Probably someday, if we're looking at branding, maybe we'll try to look at online marketing and also social media marketing, because they are two different things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we need to also understand that. But probably when we're talking about branding, we'll look into that in details.
Absolutely. It's very, very, very important.
And we will not also forget to keep telling you that you can get some of these things for free on YouTube. Very, very essential, very key. As simple as A, not even B and C.
Just
Only
A.
is okay.
Because you get in there and you type anything. Anything. Since we started talking about this, I decided to just play with YouTube. And I would open up my YouTube app and type in anything in the search. You're going to find something.
Of course.
By the time you're done with 2-3 articles, you've learned something. It'll give you an insight as to where to go to get more. But at least start from there. And please don't fall under there's this thing that a lot of people fall for, where you now watch too many videos, you've lost touch with the beginning, you can't remember how to do that. No, learn, take your time. I've said this on the show, human beings were created to go at a very slow pace, where you digest the first video first, implement it, make sure you've learned it. That's how to become an expert. You keep doing things gradually, small, you master small things until there are a lot. You can't just keep, it's not all about watching the videos. You watch the videos and get knowledge from them first, then you implement, then you go back to that video again to be sure you implemented it the way you were meant to do it. When you know it, you move to the next one. Okay, now
and one thing also, talking about watching the video and implementing, there's one thing I want people to also understand, that YouTube has so much to offer, right? Because you have a lot of options, millions and millions of options there to look at. If you have decided this is the path at which you decided to follow, or this is the particular business that you want to engage, or this is your business, make sure that the videos you are getting should be related to your own line of business. Why I'm saying this is because, especially for people who are trying to make up their mind to engage in a particular business, by the time you go to YouTube, you type in your whatever you want to type, it will give you an option. While watching that video, downward you could see different options. Some related, suggestions. Thank you. Some related to what you are watching, some are not related. And by the time you now, okay, this is good, you move from this one, you now click the other, it might not be related to what you want to do. From there you say, for instance, I want to start selling phone. I now take a dive into YouTube and I search. I have seen everything that I need, or I've seen an information that is very important. The next thing is, it may also give me an idea about selling laptop. Then I'll just go click. Selling phone is profitable. Okay. Laptop self is profitable. I didn't know.
No, laptop is far.
Next thing,
laptop is far. Accessories. Say, but for phone accessories. Look at all this earpiece. They are looking good. So then you are now checking. You now lose touch with the phone, and before you know it, you are checking different marketing, different places you can get these products for cheap prices. Then next thing, you're on the website. Then you now see chargers. That is nice. You've spent 3 hours doing nothing. That's why we've always spoken about the power of being indistractable. There are things that seem important that distract you too.
Of course. So stay with the rank.
Cause
stay on.
It's phone that took you there.
Look for any video that is related to phone. Leave others.
Leave the rest.
When you stabilize in phone and you now know that you are ready to diversify or to move to another product, then go and search for that particular product that you are moving. Stay there so that you have enough knowledge about that particular brand or that particular product that you were searching for.
Absolutely. Now, serve your customers well. Serve them with your full mind. Now, the first and most obvious step to improving your online reputation is to serve your customers well. There is nothing more effective than a good product and a good service that helps customers to solve a business problem they are facing. Then, once you're provided a solution to an important business problem, ask your customers to champion the success they have had online. I know of a business. I bought something for my face. When I had moved to Abuja, my face was, I think I was reacting to the new environment or something like that, but I was having an acne breakout more than I've seen in my life.
Whoa.
It was everywhere. And I have this bad habit. Once there's acne on my face, I want to pinch it. So my face was rough. And I reached out to a brand on Instagram because someone referred them. And I was like, hey, first off, I'm not trying to bleach. I'm not trying to be yellow. I just want my face to go back to being as smooth as it used to be. I'm tired of these bumps. And they sent me something. And the lady during the consultation, asked me a lot of questions. Now, I'm not asking you to go and be buying these things. Usually it's more advisable for you to see a dermatologist. I didn't want to do that. I cut the corners. I was lucky you might not be. So just go see a dermatologist. Now, we had an online consultation. She asked me questions. She told me tests, things that I could do to revert back to her so that she would realize like my skin type and all of that. And she said, okay, I'll send you this product, but you would see some changes, hopefully, but not just on the first,
immediate.
Not immediate. You might have to use maybe 2 of this before we can get your face back to where it used to be. I sent her before, after pictures, and all of that. And after I had used the first, I was the one to reach out to her.
Whoa.
I was like, oh my God, it's effective. She's like, yeah, great, but we have to keep going on this. I would even give you a discount so it doesn't seem like I'm just trying to sell my product. And, she did well. And then I eventually even forgot I was using it. I kept using it, but I forgot. She reached out after about a week or 2 of starting the second pack. And she said, hi, I'm just checking to know if this was effective or you started getting reactions. And I was like, yeah, it is. My face is great. I didn't. And she's like, oh, good. Can you send me pictures to see? I was like, wow. I didn't think you were going to check on me. I mean, you convinced me to do 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I have done 2. Normally, you'd go your way, I'd go my... But she followed up. She now said, oh, okay, after this, you can go back to using, because in the start, I told her, okay, I'm not one of these skincare people that want to be packing skincare products up and down. I just want this to move and let me go back to using the natural products that I use on my skin. And she's like, oh, after this, you can actually now, when you're done with that, you can actually go back to using what you're used to. I'm sure by now, you've adapted and whatnot. Yes, and whatnot. And she was just amazing. Then later she sent me another message and said, please, if it's not so much, do you mind us doing a pic mix of a before and, and after of all your face of what, we did with your skin and posting, if you can send us a review so we can post it online. I was like, absolutely. Guess what? Normally I would have a problem with that, but because of the service,
You got
the dedication, she just kept coming back to, really show that she cared about the health of my skin. It was good, and I just felt, perfect.
Yeah, and I think this should be the final one we'll
Oh
be
my
taking
God.
now. Own up to your mistakes. Yes, you have to own up to your mistakes. Acknowledge your mistakes publicly. Remember, we're talking about online reputation here. So you have to own up to your mistakes publicly, even if you don't think that you or your team are wrong. Don't try to sweep anything under the rug, because people may temporarily be outraged. But in a digital age in which everything comes to light, being transparent and honest can be your best and only shot at repairing your online reputation. Perfectly said. Nothing to add there, except if you want to further substantiate that, you just have to make sure that you are honest enough to an extent that people, just like we said, online reputation, whatever that goes online, it will remain there. Because you cannot control what review you get from your customers or clients. So it's very essential. If, for instance, I just pop into your DM or your status, I saw this particular review, negative one, I would want to make sure I do a follow-up to see your response. How honest were you?
Yeah.
What was the response you gave? It matters a lot.
Absolutely does. Absolutely does. We have to draw the curtains here. I didn't realize that we had run out of time so fast. I would have kept going and going. Of course, we would continue the episode tomorrow on Business Around Town. Don't forget, you can find this episode on YouTube at Voice of the People 96.1 Abuja. Okay, we're there on YouTube. You can also check us out on Instagram and on Twitter at VOP961 FM. I'm Chinwe Blessing.
And my name is Ali Doma.
We'll see you more.